I purchased these glasses probably about a year and a half ago, and the company I purchased them from here in New Zealand is largely irrelevant to this story, but we'll call them Specsavers. Nothing wrong with Specsavers, they've done a good job with the prescription, I can see out of them, and they are progressive lenses. Now, something I wasn't really aware of is something very odd and really unforgiving from the manufacturers of the lenses. And the issue is there are numbers lasered in to the lenses which I can see. Now, to go back to when I purchased them, I got them from the shop and walked outside, bought a coffee, as one would, and I thought, oh, there's a blemish on the lens. But then, if your experience is like mine, the dirtiest lenses are brand new from the glasses manufacturers. So I cleaned them and I held them up to the light, and I could still see dirt on them. I thought there was actually a scratch or more a scuff on the glasses. So I was still within 50 yards of the 50 meters, I shouldn't say yards, should I? 50 meters of the shop that I purchased them from. And I went back to them and said, can you look at these, because I think the lenses are damaged. There's a scuff mark on them. And of course they took them away and had a look under the microscope, and they said, no, there's nothing wrong with them. And I thought, well, maybe I haven't drunk my coffee yet, so it could be that. So I went outside and had another look at them, squinting the way one does, you know. Oh, I'm sure there's something wrong here. And after careful examination, I could see numbers at the extreme edges of the glasses. And I went back to the shop again and said, you're right, these don't have scuffs and blemishes, but I can see numbers on them. And they said, oh yeah, that's so that the manufacturers of the glasses, or spectacles if you prefer, can identify the lenses. And I thought, this can't be right, that you'd have numbers printed on your glasses that you can clearly see. And I said, well, I'm sorry, this is unacceptable. I want these replaced with ones which don't have numbers all over them. And they said, oh, they all have numbers on them. And it just absolutely staggers me that a manufacturer of your sight into the world can have numbers on it which are clearly visible. And just to show you, have a look at this. Now, to be fair, those glasses that I've just shown you the image of, incidentally, it's incredibly hard to focus on that because the depth of field is very narrow, and it took me about 20 minutes to get an acceptable shot. And I also have to say, these particular glasses that I'd photographed are not mine, and they didn't come from Specsavers. They're my wife's glasses that were produced and made in the Philippines, clearly not by Specsavers. Now, I tried to photograph these, but the only way I can actually see the numbers and letters is under certain lighting conditions, because it is lasered in and it's clearly a very shallow printing, and it really affects you most when you get light coming in from an angle and it refracts on the actual indentations of the laser etched numbers. And now I've got used to them, it's sort of okay. Not good, because you shouldn't see any blemishes on your glasses. Why should you? I can't believe they can't find some other way of colour coding them or something like that, like they do with electrical components. It could be etched on the side of the glass itself so that you could see a colour, or the visible would be a coloured dot, but not right in front of your eyes. And I must admit that my wife's glasses I would find completely unacceptable, because they've really lasered them in and are very visible. But the argument is most people can't see it because your focus on literally a few millimeters away from your eye is completely out of focus. And I initially couldn't see it. I could just see what looked like a fingerprint. And I don't know whether you're like me. I mean, some people, you look at their glasses and it looks like someone's taken a crap on them. They are covered in fingerprints, dirt, dust, and they find that quite acceptable. But I'm one of these fussy bastards that even if I see a speck of dust on my glasses, I have to clean them or blow the dust off. It just drives me mad. And whilst obviously that close, it's out of focus, obviously you're aware, if something is pinpoint, it can be really small, but if you make it out of focus, the image opens up, doesn't it, and looks twice as big as it really is. So this is an open comment to any of the lens manufacturers. Why the hell do you do it? There must be another way to identify the lens. And the pictures that I've just shown you are literally half an inch in from the edge of your the edge of the frame, so well and truly where you can see them. But it doesn't bother my wife at all. I mean, I can see those numbers on her glasses just by holding them up like this, but she can't see it at all. It doesn't bother her. So am I just the only fussy person on this whole planet that uses progressive lenses? Let me know on the comments whether you agree with me, whether you've noticed it in fact.